ladies, we're fixing to start. We're going to start in about 5 minutes. So if you can go ahead and make sure you have all your crafts, everything ready. Those of you who are getting online, go ahead, get online. You can go ahead and start watching this. I'm just kind of prepping just a little bit. So I'm going to give y'all about 5 minutes. So if you will, just go ahead and maybe type a comment. Go into the comment section and type a comment and just let us know that you're here. So I'm going to give y'all the few minutes. I'm going to finish my stuff. So go ahead and comment when you come in. Get your stuff ready, comment. I need to open this. Do I need to shake this?
No, sure.
I don't know.
I think I just took a paper.
Why is it delayed? Is it delayed a little bit?
Oh,
Just a little bit.
it's actually probably good. Say something bad and cut it off.
Is anybody coming on?
Chris Schwerin said, "Hey, hi, pretty lady." Some people have joined. Gail said, "Hey, girl," with a heart.
Jill who?
Cooper.
Oh, okay. All right. Go. Are you taping me now?
Well, I'm live.
Yeah, we're live. Oh, you did? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know I was on. I thought you were just reading. I see Gail has come on. Hey, Gail. And Chris. Hey, Chris. This is something new, so you're going to have to bear with
Shannon.
all of us. Lindsay will be your host in just a few minutes, so she probably knows a little bit more about doing this online stuff than I do, so. But I am excited. I'm really excited about doing this. So there may be some flubs and things like that, but
I don't practice.
we'll just have a good time with this. And Lindsay will tell you kind of at 6:30 what we're doing so that y'all can go ahead and start. But right now, you just look at me. Alright. Alright, is it 6:30 yet? Have we got anybody else that's come on?
Chris said, "Should we be taping our board?"
No, just wait a second. I just went ahead and taped mine for Lindsay. And Lindsay's going to be up here in just a second. So she's going to kind of tell you about the colors. I was just trying to figure out, I had to tape mine just so I could go just a little ahead of you. So don't tape yet. Is it 6:30?
No.
Not quite? If you got your glue gun though, you go ahead and maybe plug it up.
Just let it stay there, I guess.
And I'm not really sure how long this is
Kayla
gonna be.
Holland says, "Hi."
Hey, Kayla. And there could be some of you that don't want to do the craft right now, but you can look at it later and do the craft sometime when you're ready. About how much did everybody spend on this craft? Can people kind of post maybe about how much? I wasn't sure exactly. I think I spent about $25, but I had some, I'm kind of borrowing some stuff from Lindsay, and I had some things, so.
I'm gonna go get a small.
There.
I don't know how I'm gonna get this out of here. I might just have to use all that glue.
We are using tools we've never used before. Here, it's shut. Lindsay. Tell me when it's 6:30.
It is 6:30.
All right, girls. We're going to start. Come on, Lindsay. Lindsay is going to, she's going to be doing this craft. As a matter of fact, this is my board, but I'm going to let her do it while I kind of, we'll all talk. But we're all going to kind of say things and talk, but she's going to do that. This, Taylor, if you want to hold this here, here's what we're gonna do. She took the bow off so that she can kind of show you how to do the bow. And I don't know if you can mention the other stuff. I don't know what people have got and all, but you can go ahead and start. Yeah. This is Lindsay. Most of you know Lindsay that's on right now. This is Lindsay. Lindsay's a part of our worship team. She has a 2-year-old. He's not quite 2. He's almost 2. He's upstairs with Daddy. So we're going to go ahead and start this. Get your stuff. Make sure you are ready. And here goes.
All right. So I don't do this. I don't know where Shannon got the idea that I would know more about the online stuff, but that's fine. And I don't craft in a straight line. I think that crafting is more fun because they're always different and because people don't do them all the same way. So feel free to do your own style, do how you want to do this. Is just how I did it. And if you have other techniques that you know of that are better, feel free to share those in the comments because I'm sure we could all benefit from those comments. So to get started, I went ahead, Shannon was a little excited about tonight, so she went ahead and got started with this stuff to make it a little bit faster for our purposes. But you're going to start with your letters and go ahead and paint at least one coat on your letters for now. That way they're drying while we do the staining and the painting on the actual board. So go ahead and do that. Just take a minute, whatever color. And like I said, it doesn't have to look like mine. It doesn't have to look like Shannon's. Use your own colors and the stains that you want to use and make it your own.
And I'm going to be painting my second coat on this while you're talking. So
she's going to go ahead and start doing that. You know, if you have a hair dryer, which I might need to get.
You won't need to use them.
We're going to need it for this. Yeah, I'll text.
I'll run up there and get it.
So we're going to, if you have a hair dryer handy, that's going to be really helpful because we are doing this in such a fast turnover, so you want it to dry pretty quickly. Let's get that going. Okay, so while you are doing that, and once you're finished with your first coat, we are going to go ahead and tape off where you are going to want your stain. So this is upside down. She actually wants this to be the top of her board. And as you can see how I did it, you want it to be a little off center. So it's not smack dab in the middle. Unless you want it in the middle, that's fine. And just know that the stain is going to be in between these lines. So it's not going to go all the way up here and all the way down here. So it's right here in the middle. So go ahead and do that and try and get it to wrap around as tightly as possible. You can push that down because you're going to paint the edges as well. So,
and you also said to do the stain first because the stain will kind of bleed
and
a
I
little
can
bit
show you
under.
on mine because I didn't do that, and so you can kind of see I did my stain after I painted, so you can kind of see the lines bled a little bit. If you don't care about that, I think it gives it a little bit more of a rustic-y kind of feel, so I'm cool with it. But if you want like a nice clean line, definitely do the stain first, and that's why we're going to do that today.
So right now what we've got is they need to be painting and they need to be taping off for the stain.
Yeah, right. Painting your letters, do that first coat, and
wait, is everybody doing stain? Is everybody going to put some stain in their thing?
They should.
I just didn't know if
I mean,
some
they
people
may not.
didn't want to use stain. But still, we've got to tape off.
Yep. Either way, if you're doing paint or whatever color, we just did the wood stain. So we'll give you guys a minute to do that. I'm going to go ahead and put a glue stick in here, so that's coming up. Yeah, if you want to go ahead also while you're working and put your glue sticks, get your glue gun prepared, that's going to be necessary. You can plug in your hair dryer if you want to go ahead and do that. Hopefully first coat will dry relatively quickly. I'm in a basement, so the humidity is a little bit higher, but still it dries pretty quickly. So. And while we're doing it, I'll just go over some of the other stuff just in case, so that everybody knows what they're going to need. I have tacky glue. I always get 2 different kinds. I have the clear, and if that doesn't work, I do like the regular general tacky glue. Your different colors of paint. So I wanted the ivory, so I just made it. So I do the white and the brown, but definitely the black. Obviously we're not using that today. We're doing Shannon's colors. Shannon is doing a nice navy blue and like a gold yellow. And instead of the greenery, see, I did the lamb's ear with the buffalo check. That was my bow and greenery. And she's doing more of like a nice pretty yellow flower, so that's her greenery. And
Jeremy's gonna kill me.
oh no, we'll clean it up. I'm a very messy crafter, so Jeremy's used to the mess. And then a really pretty bow. Just make sure that your bow is wired. I probably should have said that, but I thought that was implied. But shopping with yours is wired, okay. But shopping with the Hamilton girls, that was a question on the list. So make sure it's a wired bow because you want it to stay still. Finishing up, we have the wire, the hanging wire, just like picture hanging wire, and the little fasteners. So we've got those, and I have the hammer and a nail just to make it easy to start off that twisting process. These are obviously no hammer things, so you can do it without. Just makes it easier to have that starting hole. So I'll show that process as well.
I'll start doing that. Just tell people as they go, you may go ahead.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and start staining. So you grab, this is the scary process. I've never stained anything before I did this, so make sure that you have, like she has an old t-shirt, if you have like a wash rag that you don't care that gets messed up. So originally you're just going to paint it on there, and as soon as you're done painting, you just wipe that stain off. Obviously it's not going to wipe it all the way off, but it just makes sure it doesn't get really dark or come out odd, because you want it to look the way you want it to look. So, all right, so really it's like water. So it's not like paint at all if you've never used stain. So really you're just you're just brushing it on really quickly. And like, see, it looks very, very dark when you paint it on. It is a darker stain, so if you have more of like a mapley stain, that's obviously going to be lighter. But try and paint, obviously, in the direction of the wood grains, because that's going to make it come out looking a lot more natural. You don't want to paint up and down and in circles and things like that, because the wood grain won't look as natural. So, and try and do long strokes, because you're going to see those short strokes, especially when you paint. So you may not see it as much when you stain, but you are going to see it when you paint. So might as well practice with the stain. And definitely remember to get that edge when you're done. And there's no like calculated way to do this, because it's always going to look different, which again is why I like crafting, because nothing's ever the same. So even if you look on Pinterest and see it, which is where I found this, it doesn't look anything like the thing that I saw on Pinterest, because I just kind of did what worked for me. So, and this, you're not going to be able to go in the direction of the wood grain necessarily. This, you're not going to see as much unless somebody is literally standing right next to it. So nobody sees the edges. You just don't want it to be raw edge when you have it painted. Any comments, Shannon? Any questions or anything?
Yeah, we've got some more people who've joined. Avery Oglesby. Hey, Avery. Oh, Avery Oglesby Holcomb. I'm sorry, Avery. Avery's joined. Judy Adams, Felicia Burgess,
Ooh,
Arlene
hey guys.
Wilson.
Yeah, just clearing off that stain, like I said, in the direction of that wood grain. And you see, it just comes off so nice and pretty. It's so satisfying.
See the difference?
But it stays darker on the edge.
Yeah, because the edge is really raw, and which is fine.
Yeah.
So, because it really
Looks
gets in
great.
deep. I love it.
How many coats do you
Just the
do?
one. That's
Just
it.
the one coat.
Unless you want it darker, and then you can go and do it over and over and over again. See, mine came out even darker because this is a different type of wood. So she had more of a red wood.
I like that.
Than my pine, so you can see the difference in the color. Even it's the same stain, but you can see mine came out far more brown because she had more of a red wood. Hers came out a little bit more yellow, so it's going to match her door a lot better with the yellows and golds and the blue.
Yeah, that looks real good. Now, can you take it off immediately?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. So you can go ahead and pull up that tape. And then at that point, we're probably fine. Yeah, see how it bleeds on the edges here because it's stained and it's so watery? The paint won't do that. So that's why you do the paint last, which is what I learned when I did it. So oops. Pull that off of there, and you can, if you want to, just for good measure, use your hair dryer and dry that off. But because it's stained, unless you rub your fingers on it, it doesn't really come off.
Are we going to be able to tape, or should you wait to tape that?
You can tape it right now.
You can tape it right now?
Mhm.
Great.
That's what I did. Or you can do that if you want to do it.
No,
So
you do
you
it.
want to participate.
You're fine. Go
You
ahead.
need to do it, Shannon. You do it. Shannon's going to participate.
All right, I'm going to participate. I was hoping I could get somebody that would
I'm gonna
do
finish
my
it.
craft for me. We're going to let, we're going to let Lindsay eat right now. So,
I've been momming.
So what we're doing is
Make sure you want it right on.
that line.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm doing on the stain.
Yeah, put it on that stain,
See?
right on that edge.
Right here.
And
Right
make sure
on
you go
that
under
edge.
that feathery part, because if you don't do that, then you're not covering the feathered part.
Yeah.
That little rough edge of the stain.
So
Whew,
let's get
tea is
this
life.
done. All right. Do we do all of this, Lindsay? Are
Yeah.
we gonna
Nope,
do
you just wanna
all our
do-
lines or just the next
Just
one?
those two.
All right. Don't go ahead of yourself. I would have already.
Do these two,
Well,
and then you're going to have to do the edge of your next color.
So we will do or not yet?
You will do after you do that one. But don't
So-
do like the other layer too, 'cause
Okay.
then it'll be useless.
All right. So like you said, go right up under that feathered part because you won't. Right there. Make sure you press down. I'm hoping that I got it right.
And then Shannon's next color is going to be blue. So
Yes.
she's going to go, now she's going to tape above and below how big she wants her blue space to be. So you can go with these lines because hers has very distinct pieces of wood. So there's straight lines across. She can do it that way, or she can choose to make them smaller or bigger, however she wants to do that.
Okay. So
I
this
like the
is
asymmetrical look of what I did. So I did a much larger down here and a much smaller down here. You can do them the exact same, or you can do like mismatched, whatever you want to do.
I'm gonna probably do. So you see what she's doing. We're gonna be doing the next two colors, which will be the same color, right?
Same color.
Okay,
Or
same
different color. Just for us, it's the same.
Yes.
For our purposes.
All right, and you see that we're not going to paint under here because it's blank under here. So, and I do the top one also. Do I want to do this one? Not maybe quite as big, like you did it?
Well,
Kind of, how does that look?
I like it.
And listen, we're just eyeballing this.
Yeah. It's
Because-
just, it's not going to be perfect. We're not perfect people, honestly. so-
Right, and so our crafts aren't going to be purple. And also,
Purple.
if, oh,
Perfect.
perfect, sorry.
Our crafts are not going to be purple, y'all.
I am not doing purple. Also, what is fun though, that go ahead and eyeball it, because if you have people who come to your house and measure to see if it's all even,
And the more asymmetrical it is, the least likely people are going to be.
they're gonna go,
on purpose.
that doesn't look right.
And it's not supposed to be like perfectly straight or anything.
So we're doing this next one right here, and you see I made this one bigger than I did this one up here.
Yep.
So that one on me is gonna be navy. So I'm gonna let Lindsay, have you finished eating? Yeah. I'm gonna let Lindsay
We can just use this.
paint the navy.
And
Here's some. You wanna just do that?
I mean, I can. I'm a
What do you
crazy
need?
person. So. I just paint on my board, but
Oh.
she's using my Chick-fil-A stuff. Alright, so you probably don't need too much paint, but you may do 2 coats. I think I did 2 coats, just especially on that dark color, because that's just the way that it does. And like I said, you want to do, first of all, make sure that this tape is really, really down. Because if you have
No, I'm bad
gaps,
about not doing that.
yeah, if you have gaps, then you're going to get that feathered look beyond, and you definitely don't want that. That doesn't matter, but these exterior sides definitely. That is one thing that I made sure, because I'm terrible when I paint walls. I never do that. Long strokes, because like I said, if you like do stuff like that, you're gonna see those little individual lines and marks, and you definitely don't want that. But you are gonna do 2 coats, so that will cover well. It's a pretty dark blue. I think this is the first project in a while that I haven't used vinyl for. Just
Vicky
get a nice.
joined. We want to say hello to Vicky.
Hey, Vicky. Get that edge. Go ahead and do a nice coat on that. It doesn't really matter if you get it on the back, unless like Taylor had a good idea yesterday to do like a double-sided one. I know people do double-sided things for like fall and winter. That's a good possibility for people. The only thing is your hanging is going to be a little bit different. You'll probably hang it from the top instead of the back, because obviously you don't want a gingerbread with horns. So that was a good idea for our resident teacher, Taylor Hamilton.
Woot.
All right. That's why sponge brushes are awesome, because they hold the paint really well. And when you get those like porous sides, you have to do that.
And I know with mine, I did the navy up top because my door's navy.
Yeah.
And so if I did and at the top, I think far away, the navy and the navy would kind of run together, and it almost looked like a square.
And they're not the exact same navy.
It's close.
They're pretty close, but they're not the exact same. So you
Right.
don't want it to clash either. So
Right.
not being right on top of
Right.
each other is going to look really good. And the yellow is just pretty.
And this is something you can do that's just really quick. I mean, really,
This does not
it
take
doesn't
long.
take a long time. Just
Like, I knocked mine out. Of course, not having to talk through it. You know, you can knock it out faster, but I did mine in like an hour and a half, 2 hours. I texted you right after I did it, so.
we're not going to keep you guys 2 hours though.
No. We're going to try and
Because I'm going to do some things ahead of time while she's doing this. I'm going to make my bow.
And the good thing about doing it on video is you can go back and rewatch it.
Right.
So if you miss something, if we're moving too fast, you can always go back and rewatch the.
Right. Because this is going to stay up. This will stay up. This thing. Anybody later that wants to kind of refresh their memories on what they want to do. Anybody new that says, "Hey, I really wish I'd have done that." And this is one of the things, and one of the reasons why we decided to do this was that our ladies and just, we love crafts, and so we're used to usually having a craft
A retreat
night.
right now.
We'll do a
yeah.
retreat, and we're doing crafts a lot. We've done paintings, we've just done a lot of things, and I know a lot of the ladies who are crafty, because we've got a lot of crafty ladies in the church. They are, this is something you miss. I've been missing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess this is the next best thing. You know, we do it online. We can kind of see who's joining us, see who's with us, kind of
And even
people
being
comment.
at home, like with COVID, I've not been crafting very much. I've been doing
Right.
like home projects. Like I just redid my baby's room. We've been doing a lot of like home improvement stuff for our new home, and that we didn't get to do because we moved in so fast.
And I hope people, I guess anybody that's friends with Lindsay can maybe go online. She's posted what she did in her little boy's room. It is amazing. It's amazing.
Steve did it. My father-in-law, who is awesome, and he's crafty in a different way. He's not this kind of crafty, but his mind just works
He can do anything.
differently, and so you give him a vision and he just does it. Okay, so we will, in theory, you know, let this dry for a little bit. We're probably just going to pull out the hair dryer, but while you're doing that, you can go ahead and put the second coat on your letters. You should be dry enough by now to be able to do that. Like Shannon's looks pretty dry.
Yeah.
If she were to have to do a second coat, she could do it. There are obviously wet spots.
Well, this is my second coat
Yep.
that I already painted.
Yep, so go
I'm
ahead and-
ready.
We're gonna go ahead and dry the wood part.
It does need
So
to
you're
dry
gonna hear some pretty
loud noises.
some hair dryer noises.
We may mute. You can
you
still
do
see
that?
us, but mute a little bit.
I don't know how to mute.
I do have. Did you mute?
I don't think I.
We have. I've been
can
kind of looking to
mute.
see who's joined us. Anna has joined us. It's good to see you. She's in South Dakota. And then we've got Erin, who has joined us. And Sheena, I'm sorry. Sheena, I'm glad you're joining us. Did you mute it? Or no? You just, oh.
Is anybody commenting? Do they have any comments? If anybody wants to say stuff, feel free.
Or ask a question.
Ask questions or anything like that. It's pretty straightforward. It's not really super tough, but I understand that I say weird things. So.
You're fine. You haven't said anything weird so far. Well, I'm talking about muting it, and we can't mute it, so, or that we know of. Celeste has joined us, and Celeste may have already been here. Phyllis has joined us.
All right. And so
How'd it go?
For those who just joined or joined just a few minutes ago, I'll just kind of go back over what we've already done. while everybody else is doing some other things. We started with painting our letters, the wood letters. Shannon chose blessed, and so you paint the first coat, and while that's drying, we moved on to the wood stain. You want to do that wood stain first because it'll feather on the edges. So when you paint over that, then you won't see that once you do your next color. So what we did, we just used that painter's tape and just went on the edge of wherever you wanted your wood stain to be. You rub that stain on, direction of the wood grain, and use your old t-shirt or wash rag or something and wipe that stain off instantly so it doesn't get too dark unless you want it really dark. Just remember that it goes on like water, so it's different than paint. So you rub that off, you get a nice pretty, you see that wood grain in the middle, which I absolutely love. And then you pull that paint off, the tape off, not the paint. Pull that tape off and then tape around that edge where the wood stain ends to the interior. And then you add where you want that next set of colors to end. We did an asymmetrical style, so a little bit bigger on one side, a little bit smaller on the other. And then we just painted that next. We just did the first coat of this next color, which for Shannon is navy. For you, it might be red or green or whatever colors you desire. Mine was black. No, mine was ivory. Okay, so now that we've done that, we're going to go ahead and do our second coat on those layers just to make it more solid.
And how many coats do you do? Just
two. It really will depend, of course, because you see how much more solid it is once you've done that second. Kind of losing light over here. You want to move the light closer, so I don't know how it looks on the video, but your phone should adjust for that.
Here we go.
But my eyes do not.
That looks good.
Yeah, that's better. Being in a basement is hard. Though I like it a lot.
But it's nice you have a basement.
Mm-hmm. Space to be away from the crazy monster child for a minute. He is precious, don't get me wrong, y'all, but he is all male. You really don't have to do that.
You really don't have to do the edge.
No, the edges are very, very nice and solid, so we can just move on. I don't know what I did with it. Oh, it's right here.
I'll pour you a little bit more.
Just a little bit.
And two, whenever you guys are all finished and have it on your door, if you can post pictures, be awesome, because we would love for everybody to just see everybody's imagination and kind of how they did it.
You know my mama ain't on there? I'll tell you.
Right, see, no.
She's probably busy. There's no telling what she's into right now.
She'll watch it later.
She says that. She's busy. It's so satisfying when you pull up this tape though.
How
Like you
pretty
see
it
that
is.
clean line, it's just like, ah.
Now, do we want to pull up the tape before we dry it with a hair dryer, or do you dry it with
I
a
like
hair?
to dry it just in case. It's not gonna pull up. It's not like wall paint, so it's not gonna like pull the paint off of it. But just for safety, I don't know.
Yeah.
My peace of mind, I guess. Just want to make sure that I've touched everything a second time, so we're not seeing a lot of wood. When it dries, it looks different. So. It is beautiful. I like it. I like it. Yep, we're just gonna go ahead and dry this again. If you should be able to leave the letters alone for now. See how fast that's drying. The wood just really soaks up this color, so it's nice. Because you're gonna do that second color, so you should have plenty of time to let those letters dry. You may have to dry it with the hair dryer for a minute right before we put them on, because that's going to be our next step. Look how pretty that's turned out. Nice and solid. And this is actually the top of yours. Your letters are going to be there. So just have to flip them around.
Oh.
It's better to have the sticker part on the top, so you put your bow here, so you're supposed to see that navy.
I think Dana's joined us. Hey, Dana. We're glad you're here on here watching. I do want to mention, I think Lindsay on your list had put that you can get these boards, and you can. Home Depot, you have to, from what they told me, because I waited till yesterday to get my board, get my supplies. So you have to order from Home Depot. They said these. Mine was an 18-inch. Now they do have huge ones that are like 36
Look at that
inch.
beautiful,
That
clean
looks
line.
Awesome. That
I
looks
love it.
great. But I got mine at Hobby Lobby, and I know a couple of you others had gotten yours at Hobby Lobby too. But they do have these at Hobby Lobby too, and I did not even know they did. And you can always use your 40% off at Hobby Lobby, but that looks awesome.
We're going to have to touch up that edge just a little bit on this side. You
Oh,
see,
I see.
it didn't, she taped it a little bit further. It's not an exact science on those edges, so,
Yeah.
but it's so nice, that clean line. We
That
could
looks awesome.
go through here if it's really something that Shannon wants to do, and
I
cover
see.
this little bit of where she put it a little bit too low.
Mm-hmm.
We can cover that.
You could take a little paintbrush, like
Yeah,
those little teeny
really tiny one.
and just kind of just
Touch
dye
it up.
maybe.
Yeah. But, oh,
Oh, that looks so
like the most satisfying
good.
moment ever.
And I have been looking for a something to put on my back door. I've got a big
Y'all,
yellow
look
flower.
how pretty that is.
I love that because I'm doing kind of navy, and I want to start kind of adding the yellow. And this will kind of still be a summer one for me. I'll do something different for fall.
All right, so what
And
you'll
it's
do is,
safe to put that on there.
yeah,
Oh, awesome.
this craft paint is magic,
Let me see my yellow.
especially on wood because it dries so nicely. And the scary part about this is this next color is so much lighter that you want to make sure that this tape it's scary because it's not going in a straight line, is right on that edge, because you'll be able to see that navy through the yellow, and you definitely don't want that. As much as you can prevent it as possible. Try and go along that edge on the...
And I'm not sure about this yellow. I'm gonna try it.
Yeah,
I
we
may
might
end up
change it.
brushing some beige on, like some tan on top of it, but we will. See, I'd love to do this for Christmas. Do my reds and greens, add a little Christmas bow.
All right, get real technical on this last edge, but we don't want to see that navy through. Like I said, push that down really, really well to get that clean line. All right, and then all we have to do is this other bottom line, and then Shannon can paint her yellow so she can be a part of the
I've
process.
enjoyed you doing my craft for me.
I love doing it, so I would do
Yeah.
the whole thing, but I want you to enjoy it as well.
And I love crafts. I mean, we wouldn't do, that's why we do a lot of crafts here with the ladies. Because, you know, that's just something I enjoy too. And I had one daughter who loves doing crafts like me. She's crafty like me, and then the other one, Taylor, isn't so into
and
it.
the other one.
My other daughter. I call her the other one.
The alternative.
Taylor doesn't enjoy we try to get her to do, I think she'll eventually do one, just so she'll have something for a door. She
I'll
may
probably
have
end
Lindsay.
up doing it.
I was gonna say she'll probably have Lindsay.
All right, so Shannon, you go ahead and get your other
Alright.
foam brush. Start doing that. I'm
So
going to get
once
that
you-
skinny brush so we can touch up that blue.
And we're going to just, you said,
go across that.
go
blue.
across.
Mhm.
We don't want to do it in, I think I might like this yellow. And like I said, this is going to be a summer wreath. Is this a wreath? Would you call this?
It's a door
A-
hanger.
Door hanger. This will be a summer door hanger for me. So that's kind of why the bright yellow.
So that's what's nice. Once that dries, you do that
This is
second
gonna
coat.
maybe look a little nautical,
Yeah, yeah.
I guess, with the,
Kind of bumblebee-ish.
yeah. I hope you ladies are close, kind of to where that we're not going too far, ahead. And I want to hear some of your comments because I'd like to know if you'd like to do this again. Do some other, or if you're crafty and you would like to do, if you've got something that you would like to send to me, and we could do this, hey, with you.
Or if you see something on Pinterest and you're like, man, I wish I knew how to do that. A lot of these ladies, like, even if there's no tutorial, they're like, oh, I know how to do that. And
Right.
they'll be able to
We've
just
got a
throw it up.
crafty bunch here.
Celeste is doing hers yellow and hot pink.
Oh, I want to see that.
And Zan said yours looks pretty.
Zan? Oh, well, hey, Zan. Zan is probably either in Warner Robins, Georgia, or she's visiting up here in Seneca. So, let's see. I'm really excited. If some of you girls, some of you ladies will kind of comment on what colors you're using. I love the pink and what was it? Pink and
Hot,
yellow.
hot
How
pink and yellow.
Like a
oh,
fuchsia?
I want to see that. Now, see, that's just, which Celeste, you kind of like to use bold and different colors, which I like.
Kendra said looking good. She loves and misses everybody.
Kendra, hey, Kendra.
If people want to comment what colors they're doing, I'd love to know.
Okay, and did we blow dry after the first?
Mm-hmm.
Am I missing something?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, right here on the edge. You might want to lift it. Because these are dry, so you're fine. You can lift them. And
Oh, it got on the board.
it's
it
on the
got
tape.
on the,
That's why we tape
I
it.
was like, oh no, I put yellow. I'm kind
And
of
if
a
you
little
do,
messy.
I'm
Like,
the same way, so I do
yeah.
a lot of touch up.
I'm not so messy as I am. I'm always in a hurry. I want to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Really because I want to see the product. I can't tell. Can you tell? But really, this is easy. Anybody can do this.
If Shannon
I
can
mean,
do it.
and I can do it. Now we want to see Taylor do it.
Taylor does it.
Anybody can.
I would say though, Taylor's been doing a lot in her classroom. And
Yes,
it looks
she is really.
all on her own.
She's very
not got any
creative.
help.
She's very creative. She may not like crafts, but she's very creative.
She runs things by me, but she does it on her own. So.
Okay, you getting?
I'm just gonna touch it
gonna
up with the wood
stain
stain
that?
because
Oh.
doing it with the blue.
And you said we do need to on this last color because look, guys, we're pretty much almost through.
Well, we're at least.
We've got to do
we're
one
over
more
halfway. I mean,
coat, and we're gonna glue our words on there. I did not get the wood. I got the, what is it called? What is this?
oh, chipboard.
Chipboard. I got the chipboard, and it was probably cheaper.
It's definitely cheaper and
She
it's
used the
way
wood.
lighter weight too.
Kayla is using purple and gray.
Ooh.
Oh, that's pretty. I like that purple and gray too. That sounds really. Yeah, I need to see pictures. I need to see. I'm gonna get up under you right there. That scares me where I drop that yellow.
Now you type
know
A
what?
individuals,
I
I am
don't know.
so sorry because we are not at all type A people. We are like B, C, D, E, F people. So we don't do things.
You know what?
My sister is a very type A, so if she's gonna be doing something like this, she needs
everything
clear instructions. So I'm trying to do it like I'm talking to her, but
I kind of like that color. What do you think? Do you
I
think
love
need
this.
to do? This
I
almost
would
looks
love
like a stain.
because when you put this
Mhm.
yellow on here,
See,
it's
did
gonna
y'all?
be enough of a different yellow.
Yeah, I
that
think
it's just
I
gonna
like
look
that.
So nice.
You can see the wood up under that yellow,
Mhm,
so
mhm.
I'm not going to do another coat. So I'm going to give y'all a few minutes to. Do we still need to blow dry it before we take the tape off? Or no? Yeah,
I would just in case.
kind of.
There's that dark spot in the wood.
Yeah.
It's not like paint, but cover them just
Yeah.
a little bit more. It would bother me, and I'm like I said, not type A. So.
Chris Schwerin is doing blue and gray. Sorry, she's been covered in paint.
Same.
I almost did.
I'm a
the
cook. I
gray.
got it yellow.
I almost. Yeah, I've got paint. on
Don't
my
mess up my
hands.
Shrew Farm shirt. I would be so sad. So at this point, if you guys are done painting your colors, you can probably go ahead and dry the rest of your letter because the interior doesn't dry as quickly as the exterior does.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Don't burn your hands. So easy to do.
My problem with a hairdryer now is it burns my head because my hair, one, is thin,
Yeah, a lot.
and then it's so short now that I have to watch how I blow dry my hair.
And also, I am not responsible for any burning with the hot glue gun.
gun.
But trust me, I do it all the time.
I don't care how good you are with crafts or crafting, you're going to burn yourself
Stinking
with
hot glue gun.
Yeah.
And if you're not covered in paint and glue and stained by the end of the night, you didn't do it right. So.
And I probably, like right here, but I don't think anybody can see that. I mean, really.
What the interior
Like the
part?
interior was kind of hard to get to it,
No.
we kind of get, and like we
Not
said,
really.
we're not we don't,
Oh,
it's
gosh,
kind of like,
no,
yeah, it
no.
looks good. Let's take a picture, it looks good.
Yeah, that's gonna look so.
Oh, that looks so good, guys.
That's
Are we
gonna
gonna put this on next? See, I'm getting more paint. We are? So can I take I get excited. I want to
let
get
me
these
let me
things.
just
Should
run
I?
over it with
One
the
time.
thing just in case, because I don't want to say, yeah, just pull it up, and then it looks awful.
Bethany has joined us. Hey, Bethany. Holly has joined us. Hey, Holly.
You might want to do a little bit more right here. Just right here. No, with the paint.
Not with the hair dry. Oh, with the paint?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Everything should be pretty dry.
It's hard to tell with this.
And you've always got time tomorrow, and some of this sometimes draws. I mean, like, draws up, seems like the paint sometimes. So tomorrow, you may go, like I may say, I do want another coat of stain on the, a coat of
Yeah, that's why
paint
drying
on the yellow.
it with the hair dryer
Yeah.
is so much better because you can kind of see definitely what it's going to look like. You're going to see
But I'm
some
loving
of
it
this.
so far. I wasn't sure if I would, but I am loving it.
All right, we can go
You're gonna-
ahead and do the satisfying moment. Here we go. Whoops. Oh, it got some on that blue, but we can fix it.
Oops. There.
I love it.
Where? Oh, I
Yes,
don't
it's
see that. Like you said, fix it.
I didn't see it either.
No. I'm kind of like, it's good. You guys, I was not really sure. I'm bad about picking colors. You
Oh,
know, I would
okay.
rather see something, but I like that, especially. I wish I would have done this yellow.
Yeah. You know what you could
And
do,
I-
though,
you
is do
know-
like the edges yellow if you wanted to.
Yeah. There is what it's gonna kind of look like.
Upside down.
Oh, it's mine upside down. Okay.
Because you want it lower on the board.
Well,
Because your bow and
I don't know if I like it or, I might like that.
Honestly, you
Anyway.
could put it on here.
I can.
I
do
don't think that looks bad. Even with it being the same color, kind of looks cool.
Yeah, I really like that too. And if I decide I want to do this yellow, but no, maybe I do like the blue.
I like it.
I like the blue.
And you can, like we said, you can center it on there.
Because I'm
You
gonna
can put it
have
kind of
this
asymmetrical on there. Yeah, it's going to look nice. I mean, you can put it halfway. I liked just putting it kind of barely into that other color. I like the color on color, actually.
I do
like
too.
that.
I
Yeah.
did too until I realized
The
that I
tone on
had to
tone,
do yellow, and then I was trying to figure out how
I do
could
like
do.
this tone on tone.
So I do like that.
I did mine for those that have seen it, like the picture. But yeah, see, my letters were a lot larger. But I did that black on the ivory, and she's doing more of that tone on tone. It just looks different, and I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I'm really happy.
I like it.
I am. I'm really happy. All right. I'm trying to think. Are you guys about finished? Are you
Yeah.
kind of? Are we going to go ahead and place this on there? Because I was going to do a bow.
You go ahead and do the bow.
I was going to make a bow,
The
and
thing
I thought,
is,
do
we
I
want
want?
this tacky glue to dry.
I don't know if you want to. You do want to go ahead and put that while she is doing the gluing this on. I'm going to make the bow.
Here, let me just move this.
And you guys, show her the glue that you.
She did at the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay.
But for
You
those
should.
that are like just now coming in, it's the tacky glue. It's like your typical. I have the clear. I'm gonna use the clear. I get really nervous about the white. Like normally it dries clear, but sometimes it doesn't. So you can use either one, and they dry pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So make sure that when you place it, it's
Do you
where
have
you want it
wire?
to be.
Like, or I bought.
Yeah, I have.
Here,
more
I've got
wire.
this.
Okay.
That is fine. All right, I'm going to. I hate doing this fast. What I'm going to do is you can come back to this. Some of you may have gotten bows that were already made, which is smart. But I'm going to go ahead and make a bow. I couldn't find one that was already made. So I'm going to show you real quick, and you can come back. Some of you may know how to make a bow, and some of you will probably can make a bow a lot better than I can. But I'm going to show you how I make a bow. And what I want you to do is I want you to watch this, and you can go back if you want to. If you don't have time, just do it later, and then put the bow on your wall hanging. But I start with this. I don't want to get paint on it. You want to get closer, Taylor? Okay. I just make a circle to where I can hold on to a piece. Kind of see how this right here is coming over. That way when you catch it, I use pipe cleaners. I can do it and it will hold it. But what I do, and do you see how this is the back edge of it, you will twist it. You're going to just do a twist right where your fingers are, and you're going to come and make a loop. My problem is I never know how big I want it to be. You're going to have to twist it again and make a loop. And what I normally do is I try to bring these up to see if they match close enough. And what you have to do is you just have to keep twisting, loop, and try to stay as close. Twist, and as you're twisting, you're going to go to the side of each loop. Now there's other people, if they want to put an easier way to make bows, you can do that, because I know there are a lot easier ways to do this. This is just the way that I learned, and it's just easier for me. But it's all about just doing under, twist it, make a loop. And you can, you can fix it around and things like that. And like I said, this is probably not going to be gorgeous bow, but I know there's one kind of bow that people just make, and it's straight, and then they just, once they finish it, they pull it out. And Anna, you may be good, if you're still online, you may be good at talking about how to make a bow. Maybe on the comment, you can put a little video about how maybe an easier way to make a bow. But I did 5 on each side is what I did. And I'm going to take my pipe cleaner and I'm going to stick it through here. It's probably really better to do floral wire, but this is what I had at my house. And so you just take this, I don't want to get paint on it, and you just twist it. You do it as tight as you can, and then you twist it. Now, we didn't do a tail, did we? Did you have a tail? No tail, just bow. Alright, so I'm going to tighten this good so it won't come apart. Alright, and then I'm going to cut this. I'm not going to cut it completely down, but I'm going to cut it pretty close. And I normally ruin my scissors because I'm bad about cutting wire with my scissors. I used your wire coat. Your wire. Okay. Yes, I used them.
That's
I
like jewelry wire cutters.
I was
have
not
like regular
gonna
wire
ruin.
cutters, but I don't know where they are right now.
Oh well, yeah.
Steve probably.
You got it. It worked. All right. So then you just kind of fluff and move around your bow. Just do like this, and let's see. Ta-da! I didn't want to make quite too big of a bow, and you kind of want to twist this last thing, so, and then just kind of come down, cut it, and ta-da! You've got some sort of bow. And so that's going to go on. Now once I put this on the board, I may not be happy with the size, but I can do it again, I can whatever. But right now we're going to use this size. But there's the bow. There, that didn't turn out too bad. And then I've also got my little greenery. And we are going to glue this on there. Now you can also, one of the things that I have done before is I have taken like a little tiny nail or a thumbtack and just pushed it down, like took way up under here and pushed it into the wood. But we're going to glue it tonight. And like I said, if you see that it comes off, maybe the glue don't hold because of the heat, you can try maybe putting a thumbtack on one, just two sides like that. Let's see how this is gonna
That's gonna be pretty.
look.
Your bow is so much prettier than my bow.
So,
I'm not a bow maker. You can make my bow.
I'll make your bow since you made mine. and see, and I'm not even know if I'm crazy about the color. It gave it some.
I love it. I
You
think
do?
it's great. Yeah,
You
yeah.
like?
It gives it the contrast of the blue. So it's a different
That's
blue.
true. And
I love that.
and I bought me some tan, but I didn't use it tonight because once I got here, and I don't know exactly where we need to place this. I kind of like, I don't know exactly. Kind of make it a little like where it's not perfect. You know, kind of. I don't know. Did you get this? Oh, you got this glued.
Yeah, don't move it.
Oh, okay.
It'll
All
move.
right.
I tried it a little
Yeah.
bit, but
Chris said her bow is just not working.
y'all, it is not easy. I'm a terrible bow maker.
Bows are the hardest things to learn, and it
Honestly,
takes
bring it
practice.
if you can't get it tonight. Bring it on Sunday
We will do it,
and let Shannon.
or
There is no shame.
drop
y'all.
it in your mailbox. I'll come. Drop your ribbon in your mailbox. I'll come by and do ya. Oh, so you put these together? Oh, okay. Look, show
And
me
then
what
you
you
can
did.
you can.
I didn't think
I'll
about
do it with
that.
my lambs ear. You can kind of see it better. But you just, because they're in two separate pieces, if you want them to connect, you just literally just wrap it around. So just put this in here.
Oh, see, I wouldn't have thought of
And
that.
once
I'd have
you
made it
wrapped
hard.
yeah. Once you
All right.
wrap it, then wrap it tighter than what I just did. Then you can move it in any direction that you want, and then they bend together. So
All right, so
Nice.
where would you put this in? So now what we're going to do is this has been
That's glued
glued
down.
This has been glued down. The bow has been made, but nothing has been glued down. I like this.
So you would just put it there and set that bow on top. Now, for what I do, let me go and grab, well, you have the pipe cleaner,
Do you
right?
glue?
You have another pipe cleaner?
Yeah, you put them
You're
together.
going to
Makes
take that
sense.
pipe cleaner, run it under one of those loops.
I could have left that,
Yeah, you could have
I
left
could
it
have
open,
left it,
but it's fine.
but it's not.
You can put it, you might be able to put it right through that same, through
In
that
the
loop
middle.
in the middle,
Yeah.
where you just went through, if I'm smart enough. College degrees mean nothing, guys.
Huh?
Okay, so then you just put it through that same loop.
Do you want me to grab this? And we're
Just
gonna.
kind of put it centrally located. Make that as tight as you can. And loop
see,
it around.
And I only bought one stem. I just cut them in half
Yep.
because I didn't want it that big.
And then we can
So-
just, where are my cutters? Nah, it's fine.
No, don't use
This
your
isn't
scissors.
thick. It's not with real wire, like the floral wire is super thick. This isn't thick.
All
Pipe
right,
cleaners
so-
are better. So you just push that down.
And then you just
Place
stick it,
it and-
where you want it.
You're gonna fluff this bow later, but for now, that's so pretty. And see, her bow is smaller than my bow. I am extra and like massive bows.
See, when I did mine, I was like, I think, but no, I think I like because it would hide my yellow, and I still want that yellow
I love
to
that.
show a little bit. So we
Yeah.
haven't glued this yet. I am going to just kind of do this. I am thrilled.
I
with
think that
this.
is beautiful.
You did a great job, Lindsay.
I love that. I love the tone on tone.
I like
just
this tone
do.
on tone. I really do like that. I think I'm very. I would like the blue instead of yellow. So this is. We're just going to glue this, and what I'm going to do is.
And like I said, you can reinforce it however you feel. Just make sure when you glue it a lot. Because what happened to my bow was the wind kind of swept it away.
See, I've got a door. I've got a storm
You've
door.
got a storm door.
So
See,
that's
I don't.
what happened. It was the wind.
Yes.
Okay, I thought maybe the
I didn't
sun
glue it enough.
had melted.
Yeah,
so.
I didn't do it enough. So.
All right, guys. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna wrap this up because we can, we believe you're gonna finish this on your own. But thank you for joining us. This has been so much fun. And don't forget to post your pictures. We want to see them. Put it on your door. We did forget one thing.
Well, what we'll do is, so we don't keep you guys forever, and you guys can keep working, we'll just film doing the backing of it and post it. That
So-
way you have that and we don't keep you forever. So, like I said, just like regular picture hanging wire. It's like a picture hanging kit is what I got. I think I had the back of it somewhere. But, you can get it at like Lowe's, Home Depot. It's nice. And then these little loops. And it's a no, like, screw. No, you don't need a drill. You don't need anything.
And she hung it. You hung it on a door hanger. You bought a door hanger, the one that goes over the door,
like a wreath hanger
And
on the back of the door. And like up here, we have these like little picture hanging things. So if you're doing it indoors, you can use this picture hanger stuff too, and you can put it interior.
Yeah, you don't have to put it on your door. You could put it in your dining
put it
room.
inside.
You can put it anywhere. So, but thank you guys. We love this. This is fun.
Yeah, I like this.
So this is a lot of fun. Post your pictures. We love and miss you. Bye.